Let's quickly recap our SSF journey so far. We made our character Southbound Summoner, I still love that name by the way. We hit level 2 and immediately picked up the Skeletal Sniper gem. Now our run has officially begun. As soon as we found another skill gem, we unlocked Flame Wall, which means now we can deal big damage. Sort of. From here there are 5 key parts to the act that we must ensure we complete. No, not the Count, Draven or the other one. I'm talking about the bosses Beera, Crowbell and the King of the Mists for the extra cold resistance, skill points and spirit, as well as the quest for Una's loot for another 2 skill points. Then lastly is the strange boss from inside the manor who permanently increases our max health, can't forget that. With each level up we must ensure we are going back to town and looking for a good scepter with plus level of minion skills, and pray it has a spirit roll, as well as a helmet with plus levels of minion skills, and if we get really lucky, an amulet too. Finally it was time to face the last boss of Act 1. Act 2 opens up with an absolute fantastic drop. It's nothing amazing, it's nothing rare, but it was helpful for the moment. That was for scepters, right? It actually is. I'm actually going to go ahead and do it because that gives me enough spirit to get another one out. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it because I would probably rather it for a higher level one, but we may as well do it on that one. The very next group of mobs actually drop us an uncut skill gem, so with that we can buy Pain Offering. So we've got level 5, we can get Pain Offering here. Do we also get Fire Orb at level 5? I can't remember. Solar Orb is also level 5. I'm doing okay with the Flame Wall. I would rather Pain Offering. Pain Offering is going to be huge. So this boss can be a little tricky. Your snipers tend to focus on these. So what I'm going to try to do is get him to move. I'm going to sacrifice minion here. We are getting absolutely shredded by the minions up top. This isn't going very well. There we go. That was rough, I'll admit. And with that awful boss fight over, we make it to the Adira Caravan, and we get full access to Act 2. Just like in Act 1, there are several things we need to make sure we do in Act 2. Kabbalah drops 2 passive skill points for us, so that's my first priority. After a lot of searching, we finally find her and secure those 2 extra skill points. Our first trial is also now available, so let's get that out of the way. I personally hate the Trial of Sekhmet. I find it slow, boring, and I cannot stand the honour system. And as coming from a minion main, I probably have the easiest time with this, so I feel really bad for melee characters. I need to go aggro it and we need to pull back over here. Because he does a series of annoying explosions, and if you stand too close to him you get completely dicked. There we go. Thankfully it was super easy, and now we can ascend into the Infernalist and take the Inferno Hellhound, providing easy ignites on targets and a much needed defense bonus. As you clear your way through Act 2, you'll hopefully pick up 2 halves of a medallion that we can use in the Valley of the Titans. The buff we get isn't fantastic, but it's free and it's permanent. Speaking of Valley of the Titans, the boss we fight here is actually quite annoying. Something about the Poison Cloud doesn't always work properly against it. Eventually we'll reach Dashar, where we can find a corpse with the final letter. We can hand this in for 2 extra passive skill points. We also can climb to the Spires of Dashar and touch this for some permanent increased lightning resistance. Interesting. I wonder if, does that affect me if my minions get the kill? Yeah, it does. Finally, we can fight our way through the Dreadnought, a super cool and epic level for sure, but a little bit long. This is the end of Act 2, so time for the final boss.
Take the power you were promised. Put an end to this nuisance.
The second.
Submit.
We repay hate in kind. Friends.
We're running out of time. End this.
Let the beast
What are you
go.
doing?
I don't have time for this. Sans. sycamore!
Oh look. This is not over.
With that, Act 2 is complete and we can move on to Act 3. Immediately we get access to two incredible bosses, Mighty Silver Fist giving +2 passive skill points, and the Bog Witch for extra spirit. We can also clear out the Venom Crypts to get a Venom Draft, though once again the buffs provided aren't incredible, so I went with increased mana regen. The first Chaos Trial is now available too, but while my resistances are so terrible and I'm just grabbing whatever gear I can, I decided not to do this until we can get the next 4 Ascendancy passes to provide a huge buff to our total spirit. The last important thing to do in Act 3 is to kill Goliath to get a Sacrificial Heart, which will stab to earn another 2 skill points. There it is, just in time because this looks like it might be the sacrifice as well.
Many have died at this table. Similar method to a curse or
So let's go to the last boss and then to cruel difficulty.
The eve of the end. The demon of Hatzoatl has finally come for me. Sacrifice is the only path to survival. Save my people!
You know why we're here! It happened! It cannot be stopped!
No! I will succeed! You think you can stand in my way? Nothing will stop! What? How?
Yay! Welcome to cruel difficulty. Please. Please roll spirit. It did roll spirit, but a really, really low amount of spirit. It's a shame about the low spirit roll, but that is a pretty damn good scepter, so we'll be taking this with us into maps for sure. I won't bore you by making you watch the whole campaign on Cruel, just remember to grab the resistance buffs, extra spirit, passive skill points, basically everything you did in normal campaign, make sure to do in Cruel, including killing Blackjaw, of which I cannot find the footage of that, and in fact almost all of my Cruel difficulty run is missing too. It might have accidentally been purged when I was finishing my last big project. As for the draft, in Cruel mode I took the extra stats. I was tempted by the Chaos Res, but I thought I could make that up quite easily. The 5 extra stats I thought would be most useful. Thankfully I do have the final fight of the campaign, and I do have my first map.
The demon of
Hatzoatl
has finally come for
Me!
sacrifice is the only path to survival. There is no escape. I cannot let my effort unexpected, but not critical.
That's critical. Max life, 2 resistances, but no minion skills. And I refuse to use anything that doesn't have minion skills, that could have minion skills. It's a fresh map, how cute is that? I do want to run Deliriums because we do want to start thinking about allocating something onto a necklace. And if we can get enough stuff to allocate this passive down here, 2-pronged attack, twice, which is 2 ire, which is Peace Abyss, 2 fear, should be okay, and 2 guilts. Then that way I can stick it on a crap necklace and then wait until we get a good necklace. The other thing I like to run is Ritual, because it's not too difficult and you can actually defer like decent rewards, things like Ventus Gambles we should be able to get from there. We'll start with Rust Bowl. Things like any circlets we really do want to roll. Even the blues, we should pick up any circlet, because our helmet currently is probably one of the weakest pieces of gear we have. I forgot how crap maps were really on. Holy sh! There's like no loot. This is genuinely awful.